What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're taking a look at what will be the most overpowered, the most broken, and most dominating Warlock build for Season of the Deep. This build features the Tommy's Matchbook, an exotic solar auto rifle that was released in Season 10, and has for a long time now been a very underrated exotic. But Season of the Deep will be introducing some significant improvements to Tommy's Matchbook that will certainly change how this exotic is viewed by the community. In Season 21, Tommy's Matchbook will have Scorch effects added, allowing this auto rifle to apply a 14x7 stack of Scorch on every 5 shots. Enemies under the effects of Scorch take additional damage over time, and will ignite once reaching 100 stacks of Scorch, which will then give the Tommy's Matchbook the ability to stun unstoppable champions, as well as dish out a tremendous amount of additional damage. This rework comes just after Bungie gave the auto rifle family a boost in damage against red and orange bar enemies by 20%, which is perfect timing for this exotic to get some updates. Tommy's Matchbook offers a unique risk and reward playstyle, as this exotic overheats the longer it is fired, causing it to deal bonus damage to your enemies, but also burning you in the process. After firing 20 out of the available 100 rounds, Tommy's Matchbook will overheat, causing each bullet to receive a 99% bonus in damage, which can be stacked on top of Radiance, Weapon Surges, and Empowering Rifts. That's as many as 80 rounds, getting a 99% boost in damage. Once overheated, you'll take 16 points of damage every half second until you are critically wounded. Hip firing Tommy's Matchbook will reduce that damage down to 12 points, and with the Catalyst unlocked, your health recovery will kick in quicker. There are 3 exotic armor pieces that Warlocks can use to significantly improve the performance and synergy of the Tommy's Matchbook. The Stag exotic helmet comes with Dearly Departed, which grants a resistance buff while within your rift. You'll also receive a significant bonus towards class ability regeneration while you are critically wounded, allowing you to cast your rift far more often. The additional resistance will vastly improve your survivability while running Tommy's Matchbook, as a healing rift with resistance will significantly reduce the damage that the overheating will cause. Boots of the Assembler provides some unique benefits for Tommy's Matchbook that will be extremely beneficial while in a team activity. Boots of the Assembler will create noble seekers based on how many members are in your fire team. These seekers heal you and your teammates after casting a rift. When these seekers locate a team member, the timer for your rift will get extended by 5 seconds, allowing you to maintain Tommy's bonus and damage for a much longer time frame. On the flip side, you can run Boots of the Assembler with an Empowering Rift to grant Tommy's Matchbook an additional 35% damage, and for any of your allies anytime the noble seekers land, but this would most certainly put you at a much higher risk of death. And then there's the Sanguine Alchemy exotic chest piece. This comes with Blood Magic, which pauses the countdown for rifts after you defeat an enemy while standing inside of your rift. Each kill grants a 5-second pause, maxing out at a bonus of 15 seconds to the total duration of the rift. While there are a few other exotics that will pair up really well with Tommy's Matchbook, I find these 3 to be the ones that synergize the best and offer the most advantages. With Tommy's Matchbook receiving Scorch, it will finally be able to synergize with several of the Solar 3.0 fragments and aspects, which is what really takes this build to the next level in Season of the Deep. We won't have the Solar Surge, Flared Up, or Rain of Fire seasonal artifact mods, but we'll still be able to give this build plenty of firepower and synergy. We're using Touch of Flame, which will enhance our various solar grenades. This can be extremely beneficial if utilizing healing grenades, which is a great idea when running Tommy's Matchbook. Touch of Flame provides a secondary burst out of fusion grenades, which will be a fantastic option when taking on unstoppable champions, as it will instantly trigger an ignition. Heat Rises can provide some great regeneration of melee energy, but because of the maneuverability component, I prefer Icarus Dash. As far as fragments go, we're running Ember of Singeing, which is going to provide a 300% bonus in class ability regeneration for 3 seconds after applying Scorch to an enemy. We're also running Ember of Ashes. This applies additional Scorch to enemies, which will be a huge benefit to Tommy's Matchbook when it can apply its own Scorch starting next season. The most beneficial of all of these fragments is Ember of Tempering. This grants you and nearby enemies a 10-point boost to recovery for 8 seconds after defeating an enemy with a solar weapon. This can stack 3 times for a total of 30 points in recovery, which will surely be needed to counteract the damage inflicted by Tommy's Matchbook. While Ember of Tempering is active, your weapons will receive a 20-point increase to airborne effectiveness, and solar weapon kills will generate fire sprites. Intrinsically, fire sprites grant 12.5% grenade energy, but they do have a 5-second cooldown between creation. And finally, we're running Ember of Benevolence, which is going to provide a 200% increase in grenade, melee, and class ability energy for 6 seconds after granting Restoration, Cure, or Radiance. Ember of Benevolence synergizes extremely well with the boots of the Assembler, as each Noble Seeker will trigger this buff. Ember of Torches can serve as a great alternative fragment to use, as it grants Radiance when striking enemies with charged melees. In terms of armor, it will be best to focus heavily towards recovery. This way you'll have the fastest base cooldown for casting your Rift. If you are running short on recovery, using the Font of Restoration class item mod can provide additional recovery points while you have armor charge active. Focusing towards discipline will be crucial towards getting fusion or healing grenades back more often, and resilience will be important to focus towards as well. But when running the Stag, I find it best to keep a lower resilience. This way you can more easily trigger the Dearly Departed buff. I will be including a Destiny item manager link in the description below, and you can catch a more thorough view of this build's armor mods towards the end of this video. But we are running solar siphon mods to generate orbs off of solar weapon kills. This is going to give us armor charges, which we can increase with the use of stacks on stacks and charged up. Tommy's Matchbook has rather poor reloading, so a solar reloader mod will be highly beneficial on your gloves. And if you're running fusion, solar, or flare bolt grenades, I would advise to use firepower as well. Weapon surge mods can be a great addition for your leg armor to give Tommy's Matchbook an additional 10, 17, or 21% boost towards damage. I like the use of the Reaper class item mod so that we can generate orbs after defeating enemies with any weapon type after casting our Rift. Ultimately, we should be able to create an abundance of orbs, which will indefinitely fuel our various mod functions and provide us with Well of Radiance at a much faster rate. The Dynamo Helmet mod can also be a great addition, since we'll be casting a lot of Rifts, which will in turn reduce the cooldown of Well of Radiance even more. Season of the Deep's seasonal artifact will most likely be heavily focused towards Strand, Stasis, and Arc, but there will hopefully be a few solar mods that will be able to add to this build's lethality. If nothing else, there will hopefully be some additional authorization mods that reduce the energy cost of certain armor mods. Even if not, this build is already a powerhouse, and it's going to dominate the sandbox in Season of the Deep, both in the Crucible and in PvE. So if you haven't gotten the Tommy's Matchbook, or just haven't pulled it out of your vault in a while, it's about time you do so, because this thing is about to be absolutely incredible. This exotic auto rifle is super fun, it's gorgeous, and in Season of the Deep, it's going to definitely turn some heads, especially when paired up with a solar Warlock. But don't underestimate the synergy that the Tommy's Matchbook will have with a Strand build, as Strand will be seeing several adjustments in Season of the Deep, and the combination of suspensions and Scorch is flat out amazing and will make for just as dominating of a build. And with that being said, we've come to an end of today's video on this amazing Tommy's Matchbook build that is primed and ready to dominate in Season 21. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Tommy's Matchbook and the upcoming changes that Season of the Deep will be bringing. Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.